And he went, no. I went, why not? He went, well, they'd be confusing because they say there's no difference between genius and being a fool. No, but it's rubbish, and people say there's a fine line between madness and genius, and you know, it's a ridiculous soundbite. They don't say there's a fine line between a genius and an idiot.
Well, the people who do are idiots.
Yeah.
So what would you do there, though, just to sort of wrap that little thing up? What would you do? That lad loves his mum's milk.
What are you asking me to come up with?
No, I'm
a title for the story?
No. It's just what would you do? Right.
What do you mean? What would I do?
Well, it's causing a bit of a problem in the area. Right?
What area?
In America, I think it was.
Oh, America are a problem, are they? George Bush is worried about this kid who's breastfeeding at 8.
Imagine it like this.
Right. No, so Carl, what are you asking me about this spurious story you saw on the internet?
I saw it on the internet. There's an 8-year-old lad. He likes his mum's milk.
Yeah.
And it's saying, is this right? Should it?
No, it's not. But what
do you want Ricky to do about it? It's not his responsibility.
Yeah.
No, but the little town that he lives in, they're all causing an uproar, right? Going, this isn't right. You know, I can't let my kid play out in case he's in the garden with his mum getting a bit hungry, right? So, what should they do? Because his mum's saying, well, he likes it.
Yeah.
And he, you know, so what do you do?
I don't know the laws.
No, but I'm not asking you to sort out the laws. I'm just saying, if you lived in that neighbourhood, what would you say? If you went up to him and said, look, everyone's getting a bit fed up with this. Look.
I'd say, what would I do? What do you mean, what would I do? what are you asking me?
Right, it doesn't matter.
No, what are you asking me? What are you asking me and Steve and the public?
I'm just saying, say if you live next door to this woman.
Yeah.
Right? The kid's hungry, 8 years old. He's out playing on his bike and he goes, Mum, I'm getting a bit peckish, and he goes, alright son. She whops one out and he starts having his milk, right? You live next door, you're putting your washing out and you see this going on. You're getting a bit sick of it because it's gone on for months.
8 years, I see.
Why is it your business? Why are you such a nosy neighbour that you're concerned?
What would you do, Carl? Let's turn it back on him.
Yeah.
What would you do?
What's your solution?
What would you do?
Well, I thought I'd say, right, why are you doing this? And she'd say, because he likes it. And I go, all right then, put it in a bowl first.
And you think that would sort that out?
No, because I was thinking about the whole thing, right, and you do that when you're a baby, and everything's alright, innit?
Yeah.
No one bats an eyelid at a little baby having a bit of milk from its mum's breast, right?
Yeah. You'd almost say it was natural.
But you grow out of it. It's like, you don't see, it got me thinking about things you don't see, and you don't see...
Did you put this into a computer? Show me things you don't see. What else don't you see?
Well, you don't see, like, an old man having a Twix. You never... So what?
You know the terrible thing about all this, Steve, is he's right. You don't see it. No, I know that's a terrible thing.
So what they have got, right, they've made old man toffees, haven't they? They've come up with words.
Is that a song? Oh God! You don't see it.
So they've got their Werthers, right?
Yeah. Look at him! You think he's giving a lecture at Oxford?
It's not going anywhere.
No, go on, sorry. Go on.
I'm just saying,
right,
you grow out of things.
Yeah.
And the old man, I'm sure when he was a kid, he'd have a Twix.
Yeah.
Now it doesn't look right, so he's having...
It doesn't look right!
So...
Right.
I don't think Werther's originals were specially designed for old people. I think they were sweets that just happened to have been made for years. That's why old people eat them.
Yeah.
They didn't go, hang on, there's a market here. I've noticed old people aren't eating Twixes. Quick, let's make some old man sweets.
But the little advert, he gives it to his grandson as well, doesn't he? He goes, have a Werther's original.
No, I think it cuts though before he throws it back in his face and get me a Twix.
XFM 104.9, we're not here.
Well, it is a bit like being Dennis Norden, playing some great moments from the show.
I just imagine Dennis Norden one day, sort of just waking up out of his stupor, he's doing this, and he'd go into the producer and go, I've just seen a couple of my programmes.
I just saw It'll Be Right on the Night 18.
It's shit! Why didn't someone tell me? Well, we didn't want to upset you, because, you know. But I've been doing it way too long. Well, you could just let me go on forever. Well, until you died, yeah. well, why can't my son take over? Well, he's 80, Dennis.
And the jokes I'm doing, they're awful.
They're just, why have I got that clipboard?
I've written these jokes, they're not funny. There's an audience, they're laughing. What are they laughing
They're not
at?
laughing, they're not laughing, that's clown laughter.
Who are those audience? Who goes to an audience for It'll Be Right on the Night?
A lot of them are older than you.
It can't be right.
You know, we have 15% fatality in one of your audiences.
The episode. I was with my family and friends. I said, watch this, you'll love it. Stony face, no one laughed. They all thought it was It is Well, why didn't you tell me earlier?
I didn't want to hurt your feelings, you're an old man. You may be upward of 102.
I didn't realise.
Yeah.
Here's a problem that someone's emailed in. We're taking emails today. If you've got a problem, concern, or, you know, just a general query that you think Carl could answer for you. It could be about anything. It could be about some of the big kind of philosophical questions.
Yeah.
It could be you know, something to do with war or famine, anything like that. Or it could just be a personal dilemma, you know, something that's happening locally. Anyway, this seems one that I think you probably have... You and your father have probably come across this sort of dilemma in the past, and I'm interested to know what your take is on it. Let me see, this is from Lee Matthews by the look of it. He says, he lives in a suburban area where the local teenagers also live on the same road, and they're running riot. They're smashing wing mirrors off the cars, they're crashing into parked cars on their skateboards, and they're just generally making mayhem, you know, night and day. What can you do to stop this going on? The parents of the kids don't seem to give a damn. Anyone who complains to them, they just say, oh, piss off. You know, the police are useless because they never catch them in the actual act of violence, which is what they've got to do to apparently convict them. So they don't know who to turn to, really. It's rather like when a little old lady got the 18, you know.
You know, and he was dressed as an elderly Chinaman.
Exactly.
She knew who he was. Colonel Decker didn't have a clue.
Yeah.
You see, it's weird because now it has got out of hand. Do you know what I mean? Like years ago when I was growing up on the estate, yeah, you had problems, but not like you have now. Do you know what I mean? You know,
Summers were nice as well, weren't they?
Well, right. And
Police are getting shorter, aren't you?
But you yourself kind of admitted in the past that you were something of a tearaway. You didn't do anything like these kids here.
The thing is, I was scared that if I got caught doing it, my dad would go mad.
Yes.
And I remember smashing a car window by accident and legging it in the lounge and sort of pretending to go asleep on the settee. Right?
Genius.
And I heard a knock at the door.
Chloroformed himself, just to be unconscious when his dad came home.
And there was a knock on the door, and I thought, oh God, this is a fella who saw me. I was chucking a stone in the air, seeing how high I could throw it.
Did it keep landing on your head? That would explain a lot.
And it came down.
Chucking a stone in the air, love
To
it.
see how far I could
It's
throw.
brilliant.
So, you know, I wasn't bothering anyone.
Did you
about
invent that game?
it. Right,
Did you get the stone for your birthday? Go and play with your stone.
He gave one to Suzanne.
Carl, go and play with your stone.
The thing is, right, and it came down at a funny angle, and it
course it did.
It ate the back of this car, and the back window is the most expensive because it has that heating thing in it.
Yeah.
In case you got a frosty window.
Yeah.
So I thought, oh God. So I legged it in, got on the settee, went to sleep, knocked at the door.
Genius. It's a brilliant plan. It's a brilliant plan. I couldn't be guilty. I'm asleep.
So
I love the idea.
So the thing is, our lounge used to sort of you could see in from the door, right? So this family who saw me do it saw me asleep on the settee, and my mum said, "Go and get the door." And I sort of went, "What?" as if I'd been asleep.
Yeah.
I went to the door, like rubbing my eyes, and the fella said, "What did you run off for? I saw you." I was like, "Oh no," and I didn't see my dad. I went out. It was when he was working sort of evenings, so I went out so I didn't have to see my dad. And then the next day I came home from school, and my dad said, 45 quid.
Oof.
That's all he said.
That's all
When
he
he
said.
looked at me.
And then you fell asleep when he went, wake up. You know what I said? No, 45 quid.
Now the thing
Carl.
is, he didn't have to do
£45,
anything.
Carl. Now I know you were saving up for a brick, but you can't have it. Yeah.
Just
Equally, if you're doing a bigger crime, you know, like a bank job or a murder.
Remember to take the stocking off your head, because they wake you up and go, why have you got a stocking on your head? Just go, oh, I had a weird dream.
Right.
Okay, look, quick query for you. This is from Jay. He's got a problem here. He says, my parents won't let me ditch my studies. He's currently reading modern languages at London University.
Sure.
He wants to follow his dream, but his parents won't let him, of being a dancer. Carl. Worse than that, he says that they're trying to arrange a marriage to a bunch of minging daughters of people they know from good families. He doesn't know what to do, so he's got the arranged marriage coming along, and he's also got, you know, he basically wants to be a dancer. His parents are forcing him into something more practical.
Well, the first thing, right, I don't think
Live your dreams?
the arranged marriage thing is such a bad idea.
Okay.
Because I think too many people go on looks,
Right.
and then you soon get bored of that, and you find out the person who you're knocking about with is actually not your type.
Right.
Why don't you arrange marriages for people?
Well, I'm just saying, right, so I'd say, Jay, go along with that. I wouldn't worry about it.
Okay.
I mean, if they're really ugly, then, you know, don't go along with it. But if they're half bad, put up with it. That's all right. The dancing.
Brilliant.
Right.
That's that solved.
Brilliant.
I wanted to be a dancer. After I did the boxing, right, I joined a dancing thing just near Man United's ground, right, called Twiggy's. Went along, I wanted to learn some moves.
How old were you?
Well, it was when Michael Jackson was, like, pretty big, so about 83, 84, 85, something like that, around there. Wanted to do it. When I went, it was shut, and it had become like a warehouse for toilet rolls. So in a way, I wonder what would have happened.
Sorry, how is that an anecdote about you going through dancing? You've told me before, you did boxing for a while, you did dancing for a while, you had a true fight in the boxing, you didn't even get in the... That's not an... Imagine if that was a film! This is a boy's dream of becoming a dancer. Oh, it's shut. Next on. I mean, how is that a story?
Yeah, that was Billy Elliot. Do you think he won quite as many awards?
Yeah, brilliant. Footloose. All right,
Yeah.
I'm fed up. They banned it. Let's go. Oh, it's shut. Splash dance. First, there was. It's a warehouse. Never mind.
I'm just saying, you know, you'll find something else. I think I got a go-kart after that. I bought a motorised go-kart and kept myself busy with that. So there's always other
Just
things.
think, Alan Bennett has to sit down and really sweat over his stories.
Yeah.
He just opens his mouth.
You are a living Alan Bennett character.
So that's that.
So that's solved. Well, Jay, don't worry about that. There's no emotional problems I can foresee if you follow that advice.
So the advice there is do an arranged marriage.
If she's not ugly.
minging, she's not completely minging.
Yeah.
And don't worry about dancing. Get a go-kart. Cheers. This is XFM 104.9. I'm Ricky Gervais with me, Stephen Merchant. You're listening to the best of, basically, Carl Pilkington. You don't talk to anyone, do you, in the week? You just don't talk to anyone, do you? Much?
Not really. No, I mean, you might call up.
Yeah.
But no, I keep myself to myself.
Yeah.
Then you don't get bogged down in the office politics and stuff.
Yeah. Is there a lot of office politics here?
I don't know. I don't get involved in it.
Oh, yeah. Proved your point.
So when we're away and we're like out of action, other than Suzanne, who will you talk to of the day?
How will you get a sort of feedback from the world? How will you get sort of like input and...
I always, if ever I've got like a question or anything, the internet's out there, and I can just go online and find out.
The internet is good.
It's brilliant.
But it's not all verified.
It's not all necessarily factually accurate.
Anyone can put things onto the internet. It's it's freaks and things that put on things
one,
like...
Here's one that I read in the week. Right?
Go on.
About this woman.
Yeah.
She was a bit of a punk, and to get her hair done like she wanted it.
Super glue.
Right, no. She got lard. Apparently it's a popular thing, you might know. Put lard on your head.
Yeah.
And you put it in the oven. Now, apparently the heat that you get from the oven is different from the sort of heat you get from an hairdryer. Right? And she had to do that to get the style that she wanted. But anyway, she comes into money or whatever, treats herself to a microwave. Right?
It's not true.
Opens the door, jams the things, like the little catch, so the microwave works. She jams it with a screwdriver or a knife or something.
Yeah.
Puts the microwave on, sticks her head in, boils her brain.
Don't be ridiculous.
Right? Well, why is that ridiculous?
Boils her brain.
She boiled her brain.
She boiled her brain.
And this is what's good about the internet. I went straight from that, and there was a subject about brains. And do you know that Russell Crowe, when he dies, is giving his brain to charity or something, some sort of some people who can do stuff with it.
She gave hers to Pot Noodle.
Vesta.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's
boiling a
stuff.
skull.
Yeah.
That's not true.
It's not true, Carl. Just urban myths. Someone made it up.
Yeah.
For a laugh.
They're just too convenient urban myths. Everyone said you can tell an urban myth's not true because it's always this happened to a mate of mine, and when you say what happened then, they go, don't know, that was it. Was it? Was that it? Was it? Someone boiled a brain and that was it. There was no more story.
Well, were there any dates, locations, times?
I think it was in Belgium.
There's that one that a bloke, right, was going to get a phone call at 4 o'clock to find out if his business was, okay, right? And if he didn't get the phone call, he knew he was broke, destitute. So dead on 4 o'clock, the phone didn't ring, so he went up to the roof of his office and he jumped off to commit suicide. And as he was passing his window, the phone was ringing.
Oh no.
Carl, it didn't happen.
Didn't happen.
Think it through.
Think it through. Who told that story? Who told that story? As he hit the pavement at 120 miles an hour.
He's the only person who could have known that series of incidents.
Also, why didn't he
he's dead.
as his life's at stake, why didn't he wait till 5 past? I say I'm gonna give it 5 minutes just in case
the lines are busy.
Yeah. And what sort of bloke goes out, I'll call you at 4, okay, if your business well call me anyway. No. If I don't call exactly 4 then no, you have to commit suicide. Commit suicide. I would, because if I don't call at 4, that's the end of it. Well, call me anyway. No, that's not the way I work. Why can't you just call me and tell me the other way? Well, I'm telling you how I do it. If you're bust, I don't call. Can't you just call to verify in case something goes wrong? What if it's engaged? If you want to be engaged, just commit suicide at 4, please. It didn't happen, Carl. The other one, right? A bloke, right? He's on a train station, and I'll tell you how I heard it. He's waiting for a cruise station, and he shits himself. As you do. And so he goes, the train's in 5 minutes, so he runs across to Millets and goes, quick, Levi's 36. The bloke just puts it in a bag, he runs onto the train, he goes into the toilet, takes his trousers and pants off.
He's soiled.
Yes. Throws them out of the window. I won't be eating those again. Cleans himself off, open the bags, it's a jacket.
Oh.
No, it didn't happen, Carl! At what point did he go into it and go, quick, Levi's 36, and the bloke went, sorry, Levi's 36, what, a pair? No, shall I wrap them? Them? It, shall I wrap? Just wrap whatever it is. Do you want to look? No, I'm not looking when you're putting it in the bag, please. Right? 36 white stories, don't say anything.
I've told you 36 Levi's, and put it in a bag and charged me for it.
Yeah.
I don't want to discuss it further.
Yeah.
There was one.
Here we go.
There was one about a woman whose husband died, and she had him cremated, and made like a little egg timer out of him. And she said, I did that so it can still help around the kitchen.
Well, that might be true. That might be a joke.
That's quite sweet.
That might be true.
It's true story again. It was all.
No, not again, because the ones I just told weren't. Nor is the boiling the brains in a bag curry microwave
head story true.
Yeah, that's all. I'd like to play a beautiful song now by Cat Stevens called Lily White. It's lovely.
A song for the lovers room?
Yeah. Big sound. Beautiful day. You too. To kick off the show, Steve.
Absolutely.
The Ricky Gervais Show with Steve Merchant.
Hello there.
And Claire Sturgis.
Hello, boys.
Carl's ill. Well, he's not here. I mean, I never believe people when they're ill. I think they're always malingering. I never take any days off work. I just think you can drag yourself in unless it's life-threatening or.
To be fair, Rick, can I just stop you there? It's not so much that you take days off as you'll just suddenly decide around lunchtime that you've overeaten and you need to go and lie down.
But I'm my own
with
boss.
a cold compress.
Yeah, but I'm my
Swedish
own
masseuse.
I'm my own boss.
Yeah. So it's not so much you take days off. It's not so much you take days off as you never actually do a full day's work.
Yeah,
you
exactly. I never take that hour and a half off a day.
Exactly.
XFM 104.9.
So what's the story, Claire? Do you know anything about Carl? Do you know what his illness is?
I think he's got this sound poorly in his defence.
Poorly.
Croaky.
Well, I'll tell you what.
He coughed a bit.
I'm not being funny. He better be in hospital.
To miss this show.
To miss this show. Flagship show of the week on XFM.
Do you know, you are right, because, and you've been away, haven't you?
Been away 2 weeks. We had the best of again. Well, best of.
Yeah.
Let's battle the best for the last 2 weeks, shall we?
Yeah.
I mean, we're going to try and get him on the phone. We're going to phone him, and I want him to really explain himself because, you know, I think he's malingering, to be honest.
Well, he phoned me in the week and he said, Steve, don't forget, there's a documentary on Friday night about Oliver the Humanzy, the human monkey. He said to me, it's gonna be brilliant.
And it wasn't.
And it wasn't brilliant.
It was.
I specially stayed in and watched it.
I taped it and watched it afterwards, and I've never seen so much hype and